download Anaconda, and then how we can launch Jupyter. So till that point, we all need to do it once again. And if the Jupyter file is still open, that's great. So I'm going to share my screen now. So once again, you can because yesterday we have not done anything significant. So maybe you can use a fresh Jupyter file, or you can use the same Jupyter file for today's session. Okay. So let me share this screen and okay. So all of you can see this screen that we have. Okay. So I have done something else. So let me just remove it. Okay, so up to this point, we have done it yesterday. So we have seen that how we can add cell, how we can remove cell, how we can write, how we can make it markdown or a code-based cell. Okay, so today we are going to learn a little bit more. So this window is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So today we are going to talk about the data types and variables. So fine. So I request all of you to be interactive. I may ask few questions in between, and you can use your chat box to answer those questions. Okay. Uh, so when we start programming, any programming, okay. So the very first thing is um, and the whole thing that we are doing is to handle the data set, right? Or to interpret the data set, or to analyze the data set. So always there is data. So whenever there is data, so there must be some data types, like what kind of data or what type of data we have. Okay. And and we use few component to store all these data. Okay. So the question here is what kind of thing that we can use to store data, and what type of data can be stored in these kind of things. Okay. So so, so we always encounter this word called variables. Okay. So and most of us we are aware with the word that a variable means what. Okay. So something which can change its value, something which can go from one state to another state. That what we refer as variable. So in programming language, what is variable is something where we store our data. Okay. So suppose this line, when we say my variable is equal to 1, this line, it is saying that my variable is equal to 1.0. Okay. So what I will do, once again, I will switch back here, and this is for you guys because you can then type here. Okay. So you can say anything. So suppose I'm saying a equal to 1.0. Okay. So here, what is the variable? What is the name of the variable? A. Okay. Yes. So a is the variable. And what is 1.0? The value. Okay. Value of the variable. Okay. Yes. So this is the value of the variable, which is a constant here, which is also a data which we are referring to. So 1.0 is the data, and it is assigned using this operator equal to. Okay. So equal to is the operator which we use to assign something to some variable. Okay. Now a equal to 1.0, you all write this on your next cell, and then say shift enter. Okay. So the moment you say shift enter, that means the a is created and it took the value of 1.0. Okay. So how you can make sure that yes, it is done. So one thing is that in Jupyter, every last line, if it has something to print, it will print automatically, every last line. Okay. But if there is something in between, if something which is not the last line, but you want it to print deliberately, then you have to use the function, which is called what? So what function we use to print anything? Yes, come on, just be active on the chat box, because I cannot interact with all of you. This, yes, print. So can you all print this a value of a? All of you print the value of a. Okay, so some of you were correct. Couple of you were not correct. Okay, just a. Yes, so if you say just a, it will print. If you use even the print command or the print function and say print a, that will also work. Okay, now somebody said, I've seen it, this double quote a, right? So if you say this, what it will print? Will it print anything? Yes, it will print a, right? Why? Because you use this double quote. Okay, now we use the double quote always when there is some string or character. Okay, because double quote means as it is. Okay, so if I'm writing my first code, so this is written by me, this is not anything which is universal, like 1 2 5 7 like numbers. Okay, so what I'm instructing to my program, that take it as it is. So that's why I'm putting it in a double quote. So once you put something in double quotes, so let's say you put, say, 1, okay, and print it, it will print 1. Okay, now if you say this, this will also print 1. Okay, but this time you treated 1 as a character. Okay, not as a number. Okay, so every time when we are putting this double quote, so it is a character or a string, or which is a group of character. So this is 1.0. We can see that it is 1.0. Now if I say type, okay, so type it with me. If I say type a, so it is saying float. Okay, so the type or the data type for this data is float. So that's why the command to find it out, the type of the data, is type and the name of the variable, and it will give you whatever it is. If it is a float, it will show you the float. If it is a integer, it will show you the integer. Okay, now so this is a command to find out what type of data it is. Now, how many different kind of data types we have? So we have int, sorry, we have int that represent integers. So it's like 1, 4, 5, that kind of numbers. When we have decimal, then it is coming under float. So like 3.27, even 1.0 is also considered as float, although 1.0 and 1 has no difference, but in terms of data type, they are different. Okay, so if I say, suppose, so whenever I'm here on this MFC, the name of the file, the MFC, and doing something, you all need to repeat it with me, means you all need to type it with me. Okay, whenever I'm here, you can just see it, because this is what I'm going to share with all of you at the end of the session. Okay, so suppose I'm saying b equal to 1 and executed it, and then I said, what is the type of b? So what will be the type of b? Integer, right? So it is integer, although 1.0 and 1 both are same. So, and then we have booleans, right? So booleans, we know that true or false. When we have two output, true or false, then that is called bool. And then complex, that we know that when it is in the form of iota, which is I represented by I, but Complex data type is rarely used, and in fact, I think that in this whole
बंद नहीं था
workshop,
क्या?
yes, hello. So I think somebody is not on mute, so please mute yourself. Okay. Then we have str, which is representing the string. Okay, so a string we have already seen. None type is also a data type, special, and has one value, which is called none, means there is nothing. And how to see it? We already know that type is equal to, or type function. Using the type function, we can find out the type of the data. Okay, so you can see that data, a type of 1 is integer, type of 2.7 is float, type of 1 minus 2j is complex, type of a double quote is string, type of true is boolean, as I said, that true or false, and type of none is none type. Okay, so these are the fundamental types that we follow. One good thing with you know Python is that you need not to declare the type of the variable. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that if you go for C++, you will see that you cannot just say that x equal to 3.7. Okay, you cannot say this kind of statement in C++ or C. You have to say something like float x equal to 3.7. Okay, but here you can just simply say x equal to 3.7 and it will be executed. So we need not to pre-declare that what type of data I'm going to store. The moment you store the data, the variable will automatically take that type. Okay, so that is the advantage, and that's very cool. Otherwise, and it has to go in such in this direction. The whole programming has to go in this direction, that it has to be very simple, because whenever we say even in mathematics, when we say x equal to 5 or x equal to 3.7 or name equal to Avinash, something like that. Okay, we don't say char name is equal to, or str name equal to Avinash. Okay, or we say int x equal to 5. Okay, so that's why the Python is easy to use if you compare with C or C++. Okay, so this is something good with Python. Okay, now um, okay, um, this is what I just said. Although not explicitly specified, a variable does have a type associated with it. So we are not saying that what type, but the moment you store the value, that determines its type of data. Okay. Now there is something called typecasting. Okay. So we can also, what is complex? So a complex number you might have seen in your school days, like 1 plus ij, or 2 plus this kind of thing. You might have seen it, the complex number, imaginary number. Yeah, so that is what referred here. But don't worry, as I said, that will be least used, so you need not to worry about it. But when we are trying to know about the type, that is also one type, so we should just know it. Now the next thing is that although you uh, have a data type, when you assign any variable, or when assign any data to a variable, though the variable determines, or the data determines the type of the variable, but you can always change it. Okay, you can always change the type of the data. Okay, and for changing the type, what you need to do is you so this you see this line, or let me just increase this or zoom it. Okay, so you see this line, it is saying x equal to 1.5. Fine. So and you can also type it along with me when I'm typing it. So I'm saying x equal to 1.5. Okay, now in the next line, so when you want to print multiple things, So you can print it inside the same braces separated by comma. Okay, so just remember that. So if I want to say my first number is, so it will first print my first number is colon space, and then I'm saying X, okay, and then I'm saying, and its type is space type X. Can all of you write this? And it will say my first number is 1.5 and its type is float. Okay. So all of you can just do this. This is how you mix up your statement, or where something is a string, something is float. You can just mix up very easily, very easy. Once again, it's if you go to C++, it is not so easy to print all these different type of data in just one command. It's not so easy. You can, but it's not very simple like Python. Okay, so I'm saying 1.5. So this is just a simple plain output where it is 1.5, and the class of this is your float that we have already seen. Why X? Why not X double quote? Why X? Why not X double quote? Okay, so we cannot put the X in double quote. Oh, am I too fast? Okay, no issue. Float type, not string. So see this here. What I'm saying is my first number, which is a string, and I want to print it as it is. So I'm putting a double quote for this. So this double quote is for my first number is. Okay. Then here this space, if you are referring to this space, I just put the space just to make it clean. That's it. And then I want my number. So my number is X. So of course it has to be without double quote. And then I'm saying once again space. So this space is coming here, and then saying and its type is, once again this is a string as it is, space between quote and comma. This one, yeah, that's fine. Is it okay? So how many of you have this output? Okay, I can see few yes. Anyone who is not getting it is semicolon. No, semicolon is uh, just a part of string. I don't have semicolon though. It's a colon. Where is the semicolon? No, it's not a part of syntax. It's just a part of string. Okay. Okay. I think let's first do a small exercise here. Say, okay, type it with me. Does comma in front and end of X are mandatory? Yes, because you are separating two things. Okay. So this is the first thing. and then the second thing is coming X, so you have to put a comma between them, and then there is another thing coming, so you put a comma to separate. Okay, so comma is a separator. Okay, so let's do this. I'm saying my, or okay, my underscore score. So type it with me. My score is 70. Okay, my class is suppose 10th, and and okay, I just want to take another data type. Anyway, so let's say my name, you declare or you assign three variables is anything. Okay, let's say anything. Do we use a type name in next line? We can do that. If we put colon, error will come. May I ask why? See, this is the syntax. Means the syntax you have to follow. When I'm saying that in print command, in print function, if you want to separate two things, it has to be separated by comma. Now if you say that I don't want to separate it by comma, I want to separate it by tab, so it will definitely throw error. Okay, so now you need to print this. You need to say that my name is anything, I'm in class, and I'm in class 10, and my score is 70. You need to make a command, print command, so that it will print this. My name is, so just look at it, what I want. So I will just make it as markdown. So my name is anything, and I am in class X, and my score is 70. Okay, you need to construct a print statement for this. Okay, when you and first you, so you have to use these variables, don't just type it. Okay, and let me know who has done this. If you are getting the same, exactly same answer by using these three variables, then say done. Okay, then I will ask you to paste your command. Until unless I'm not saying, don't paste it on the chat box. So I can see that some of you are saying invalid command syntax is coming, but some of you are also saying that it is done. Okay, so somebody who is saying error. Okay, Geeta, can you just paste your command? Can you paste your command right now in the chat box? And then I will ask Yashvi to paste it, the command. So Geeta can okay. So Geeta has done this? No. Not in bold. That I'm not saying that it should be in bold, because for bold I'm using some other thing. So this is not in bold. But Geeta, can you paste your command? I'm waiting for your command to on to see it on the chat box. Okay, my name is no. Uh, Using print. Are you using print? You are not using print, right? So you did not get me. I said that something like this. You need to construct a print function. Okay, so somebody Gerardo, my name is my name and I'm in class. Okay, yes, we yeah. So yeah, this is what I was asking. Yeah, not so complex. No, not so. So many of you have done this, I know. My name is this, my underscore name, and my underscore class, and my underscore this. My underscore class, sorry, my spelling of class is not right. Yeah, so this is printing exactly what I've shown it. Okay. Yeah, so I think it must be clear that how we separate one um, thing from another thing in, yes, okay. So in your print function. Okay. Now this is something you should know. I'm not sure how often you are going to cast one data type to another data type, but the moment you say the name of the data type in front of the variable, like this, say x equal to 3.7, or I have x, and just to know that is it there, yes it is. And if I say type of x, and if you are following this MFC code, so you also have X in your code. Yes. So this is float. Now, if you want to make it integer, so you just have to say int and this. And suppose I'm saying y equal to int x, and then printing the type of y. So now it is 1, right? So earlier it was 1.5 because it was float. Now, once we say make it as integer, it becomes 1, and the type becomes int. Okay, so let's do one quick check. Suppose my x is this time 3.9. So of course its type is float. And suppose I'm just changing its type and storing it a new variable saying int x, and of course now the type is type of y is integer, but what is the value of y? So value of y is okay. So value of y is 3 now. Okay, now you can see that earlier it was, and you can still check the x is still 3.9. So if you are changing it to integer, this will happen. Okay, but this is the way that you can change it. You typecast, and typecast is very important when when we code in C, but here I don't think it will be very often used, but sometimes you may use it to just change the type of any variable. Okay. You can do the same thing with the float. You can do the same thing with the float. So of course, if you say, suppose Z equal to 1, and then say, let's say anything Q equal to float Z. And can anyone tell me that what will be the value of Q now? 1.0. Yes. Right. So these things can, you can do it. Sometimes it is important, but most of the time, at least these days, these are not very important, I would say. We are coming out of this data type thing slowly and gradually, and I'm sure that very soon we will come completely out of it. We can just say the way we talk, the way we write, we can also use the same way to code. Okay. Now the next is operator, and this is of course very important. So there are different kind of operators. No, so 3.9 is approximately 4. So this is not round off. We are not rounding it off. Okay, so this is just a typecasting. So typecasting has nothing to do that what is coming after that decimal. So it's whether it's a 5, 4, 3, it will just remove it. Okay. We will see that how we can round the number. Now, the next thing is operators. So like all these are the mathematical operator that we know, that is addition and subtraction and multiplication, division. Okay. So I think it's still there is someone who is not on mute. Please mute yourself. And there are a few other like integer, division, and power. So we will see that. Now, addition, once again, this is the once again the beauty of Python, that you need not to write lots of things. You just say, suppose I think I have A, I have X. If I say A plus X, it will just add it. Okay. Now, and you can see this output because there is only one line, and this you can do it on Jupyter very easily, that you just make one cell to see the output without typing print and all those stuff. But if you want to concatenate multiple things that we have seen, you have to use print. Okay, so can you guys do one thing? You declare two variable, let's say A1 and B1, and assign the value 5 to A1 and 5.5 to B1, add it, and store that value in a new variable called sum. And print the value of sum and print the type of sum. So I'm repeating my question. So now the speed is fine. Somebody was saying that I'm going a bit fast. Okay. So is it, Bharti, you have done it, or you are just saying the output? Did you code it? Okay, so Bharti is saying that yes. Print. Repeat the question. Yes, Isaac. So I'm saying you need to have two variable. You need to define two variable, A1 and B1, assign a value of 5 to A1 and 5.5 to B1, then define a new variable called sum that should have this addition of A1 plus B1. And once you've done all these things, print the type of sum and print the value of sum. Okay, so what I'm saying this A1 equal to 5, okay, and B1 equal to 5.5. Then I'm saying sum equal to A1. I hope sum is a keyword. I don't know how you guys done it. So who has shown me the code? Showed the code. Okay, so you said sum equal to. I think that's fine. It's working. Okay. And A1 plus B1. Just to be on the safer side, I put sum 1 just to ignore if it's a keyword. And then say print sum 1 and then say print, sorry, in the same cell, say print type sum 1. Okay, so everyone should get this 10.5 float. So you can see that what is happening here, that if you are adding a float, and of course the to the integer, of course the output is float and it is taking the output of that type of that. Fine. So in between we will do these kind of small exercise that are, because I can realize that most of you are absolutely new to Python. So I just want to take care that you guys are on the same page and doing this stuff with me. And it can be only done when you type it on your own. Okay, so just type it. Don't think that, oh, it's very simple, A1 equal to 5, B1. You type it, and then you will find that you may make some mistake. Okay, so this is the addition. Similarly, you can do the subtraction, or you can do the multiplication, that is by star. Okay, so if I say A1 star B1, this is the result. Yes, and double star means power, which is, let's say I'm saying A equal to 10. Type it with me. Whenever I'm typing anything, just try to type it with me, even if you know it. And then I say A to the power B and say run it, and that is 100. Yeah, 10 to the power 2. Okay, if I say A divided by B, that is 5.0. Let's find out the type of this. You see that this is not good, right? Can you see this? A is integer, B is also integer. But when you say A divided by B, then the type is float. Can anyone say that why it is so? Yeah. So when you say 10 divided by 2, normally when we say A divided by B, it should be 5, but it is 5.0. And though A and B both were integer. Yeah. So it will give remainder. Okay. No, that is not. I mean, it is related, but not exactly this answer. Yeah. Why it is so? My question is it clear to all of you that both the numbers are okay? Dr. Sandeep, great. And both the numbers are integer, and the answer is in float when I'm dividing it. The result of the division is always a float in Python. Always a float in Python. Yeah, so no, nothing with the Python, but definitely it should be a float, right? Because in this case it is 5, but yes, because it could be the fraction, right? It could be 5.2, 5.5, right? So, and because of that, it is saying that it's a float because it is covering a general perspective of division. Okay. Now, the same thing, if I say A double this and say this, now it is 5. Okay. So this is also a division, but the in it will give you the integer value. Okay. So this is, I mean, in 5.0 and 5, there is no difference. So we may not be able to find out the difference between 1 slash and 2 slash. So let's say that now my A is 15 and A is 15. So somebody is not on mute once again. Can you mute yourself? So this time A is 15, B is 2. And then I'm saying A divided by means double divided by 2. Sorry, B. So now the answer is 7. But if I say A divided by B just by 1 slash, then it is saying 7.5. So it is just the integer part of your result. Yes. Now, similarly, if I say A percent B, so this is the remainder, if there is any remainder. Okay. Suppose I go back to my code here and run this. It will once again assign A to 10 and B to 2, because I want to see that if, and I want all of you to see that if I now say A percent 2, it is 0, right? Because there is no remainder. So this percent sign is for getting the remainder, if any. Otherwise, it will say 0. Yes, I think that's all from operator. Now we will move to comparison operator. Okay, so comparison operator is when you when you are comparing two things. Okay, so what is percent? So percent sign is to find the remainder. When you divide two numbers, what will be the remainder? For that, you need the percent sign. Okay, Jinkwan, is it fine? I'm waiting for your yes or no. Okay, so Comparison operator is when you are comparing two numbers or two variables, whatever. Okay. So the first comparison operator is double equal to. Okay. So we are checking whether the first right hand side, so it will always have two sides. Even the assignment also has the two side, left hand side and right hand side. So here also we have two side, left hand side. So it is comparing whether my left hand side value is equal to right hand side or not. Now there is something called not equal to, whether my left hand side is not equal to right hand side. The third one is greater than and less than. So we say whether this one is greater or that one is greater. Similarly, we have greater than equal to or less than equal to. Now these operators can also be connected using the logical operator. So these statements, okay. So once you write a comparison operator statement, these statements can be connected by these logical operators. So you might have heard about it, like AND operator, which means that the first one and the second one. So let's see that what will happen. um and right now I'm not saying whether true false or true that kind of thing. So it is taking both into consideration, and or is taking either first one or the second one. Okay, so that is your or logical operator. Not is like the out, you are negating the output. Okay, so we will see and we will understand once we start using it. Okay, now the logical now the comparison operator that we have seen, the output of this is always boolean, right? Because we are comparing two things, so the answer will be yes, no, true, false, right? So suppose I'm saying, now please type it, suppose I'm saying 3 equal to 4 and shift enter. So it is saying it is false. 3 equal to 3, it is saying true. Okay, and similarly I can say 5 greater than 4, true. Okay, so all these are either true or false, and these are the 5 different or 7 different type of comparison operator. Okay, so that you can see it here, it's very simple. 1.1 equal to 1.0, it is saying true. Okay, can you try it? 1 equal to 1.0 is true. Yeah, because the values are same, right? So it is comparing it, the value, not the type. Okay, now how we can connect these statements? I think once we will go for if, we will see it in more detail, that how we can connect these statements. But here we will just look at it briefly. That suppose I'm saying that one is okay. What do you think if I say A is double equal to A? What will happen? True, false? False without doing it, or you have seen the result? Yeah, of course it is false, because programming doesn't know both are A. It is taking as it is, and it looks definitely different. What will happen if I say, if I don't put any double quote and just say A equal to B? Just don't execute it and just tell me what will be the output. Error, yes, right, it will be error, because there is no A and B. That program knows. Okay, so we have seen that if I say 1 equal to 1, which is true, and then I say 3 is greater than 4, what will be the output? Okay, just first try without doing it. You may type it, but don't execute. So few of you are saying false. In fact, all of you till now saying false. Because for both condition need to be true. Yes, so that's why it is false, because this is true but this is false. And is like if I say true and true, then the answer is true. True and false, answer is false. And what will happen if it is false and false? False and false true. Yeah, of course, false and false will be false. Yes. Now you say false or false. What will be the answer? False or false. Once again, there is something called somebody is saying true. So it is not true. There is no true. All are false. So so definitely it will be false. And if I say false, sorry, false or true, what will be the output for this? True. I think you guys are doing it or just logically saying it. I think you guys are just logically saying, right? So false or true will be true. If one is true and there is or operator, the answer will be true. Okay. Now I said there is all we covered or there is something left. Okay, there is not also, right? So not we have not false. So what will be the output? Not false. So it is, in fact, this is clearly saying not false. So it will be true, right? Not true will be false. Okay. So suppose I am saying 1 equal to 1. You need to tell me the answer. Okay. 1 equal to 1 and 3 equal to 3 and A equal to A, sorry, A, and then this, what will be the output? Yes, we can. So the output of this will be true, false. Okay, I'm getting mixed answer. True, true, true. So here we need voting kind of thing, right? How many of you saying true? How many of you saying false? Okay, so it is saying first statement is true, of course, and second statement is true. So, and this statement is false. So the answer of this should be false, right? And not of false should be true. Yes, so true is the true answer, false is the false answer, right? Okay. Now, now last test. Okay. Yeah, Bharti, it is true. I can also see, and definitely you can see that. But right now, don't execute and tell me just by looking the code. And this is the best part, right? That this is the logic. So I'm saying 3 is greater than 4, though it's a very simple logic. And 3 is greater than 2. And okay, um, there was this sign, right? Oh, that was not equal to. Okay, so I'm saying 5 is not equal to 10. Okay, or once again, sorry, once again, I'm saying A is equal to B. And what will be the answer of this? False, false, error, false, 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 false. Okay, so just one error, and then rest of you are saying false. So I think I will go with public opinion, but the answer of this is saying it's false. It's error. And why it is so? Yes. So Erica was correct. So here there is something which was missing, and that's why it was it was giving the error. Yeah. So that you need to look at it carefully before saying. And now if you say, then it's false. Okay. And why it is false? So logically it's all fine. It's saying 3 is greater than 2, which is true. This is also true. So, and this is saying this is false. So true and true is true, and true or false is true, and not of true is false. Okay. So okay, guys. So let's just stop here. In next session, we will work on data structure. So something which is bit more advanced. So now we have seen variable and data type, some operators, some logical operators, some comparison operator. Now we will go for the data structure. Okay, so let's stop it here. And we are going from a very basic. Of course, at some point we will get the speed. But what I want is by that time, all of you must be comfortable on that speed. Okay, fine. Thank you.
So thanks, Dr. Avinash, for today's session. And is there any matter to share with participants for today's session, sir?
Um, so we have session tomorrow. Do we have?
Yes, sir.
So we have a continuous session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will share it after this next 2 session, because we are going to cover few things, which is also a part of this file, which I was working on. So then I will share it with all the participants.
So thanks,
Okay. So
sir.
I want all of them to practice, because if I share it, then they will just read it like a story. So that is not programming. So of course you guys need to type it on your own, so that you can see that if you are getting any error. Okay.
So, so thanks, Dr. Avinash. Thanks, participants, for wonderfully listening, Dr. Avinash Mishra. I will share the recording of this session early tonight or tomorrow morning. So thanks, and just a announcement. I have shared the video recording of today's interview of Dr. Ben Moore in the WhatsApp group. So if anyone interested, they can watch the video recording of or transcript of that video recording interview. So with this, now I seek permission of Dr. Avinash for ending today's session, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Thank you,
please.
sir.